Paul asks a question at the start of what we call chapter 3. You foolish Galatians, who has cast a spell on you? He says in verse 5 of chapter 3, does God give you the Spirit and work miracles among you by your doing the works of the law? Or is it by believing what you heard? This is the question of Galatians. Are you saved by your works? Are you saved by the things you do? Or are you saved by having faith in the thing that God has done for you in Christ? And he points back to Abraham. If you've read the first book of the Bible, Genesis, you might remember Abraham, who God said, I am going to bless you, Abraham, and I'm going to bless all the nations or Gentiles through you. What's happening in the New Testament is God's promise to Abraham is being fulfilled. When people outside of Jewish ethnicity are believing the gospel, the nations, peoples of all different tribes and who speak all different languages are believing the gospel, that is God showing his faithfulness to his promise. But what do those people need to do? Do they need to act like Jews? Do they need to be circumcised? Obey certain dietary restrictions? Well, Paul asked, chapter 3, verse 6, don't you remember? Abraham believed God and it was credited to him for righteousness. What did Abram do to have righteousness? Well, Genesis chapter 15, he believes God and it's credited to him as righteousness. God gave a promise. Abram believed that promise and God credited that to him as righteousness. The journey begins by faith. But it doesn't go from faith to now you better get circumcised. Now you better do this religious ceremony. It's from faith to faith. The Christian life is about faith in God's promise. Do you trust the words God has spoken?